It is finally time for the preliminary recap of Miss Universe Philippines. I'm Dani. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. Today we're going to dive specifically into the swimsuit competition. If you enjoy content like this, I really hope you'll consider subscribing and sharing this episode with a friend or supporting the channel through super thanks or by checking out memberships. Initial thoughts are that the format of this show was giving me Miss Universe 2020 vibes. I felt like the staging was quite similar, kind of a rounded, large stage. I will say it looked like it made things very difficult for the poor cameraman that was running across the stage to get all these shots of the contestants. And I was like, oh, I feel for you because I've had that job before. And let me tell you, your arms get tired. I really love that they brought back the performers for the swim and the evening gown portion of this. I thought that was beautiful and it was really well done, well timed. I felt like the performers added to this competition and didn't take anything away. I'm trying something new in this episode. Let me know what you think about in the comments. I often hesitate to rank the contestants because I feel like there's a lot of factors that go into finding a winner that goes far beyond points and scoring. I decided to take all of the comments that I created, all of my notes on every contestant while watching this competition. I threw them into ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, based off of my comments, to create a score for each contestant and then rank them from lowest to highest. So today I'm going to share with you my rankings according to ChatGPT. Starting off with our first contestant, she is Romblon and she received a 6.0. In my opinion, I thought she did a good job. She was very, very fit. I felt like she nailed her routine and her poses, but I did feel like it was incredibly safe. Tacloban City comes in at a 6.5. I noticed her a lot in the most recent Aqua swimsuit show presentation, and here I thought she was delivering a really beautiful performance as well. I was very excited to see her doing well here. I thought she had a really nice spin turn in this routine, but I do wish that she would have had a little bit more eye contact with the camera, especially at the end of her performance. Angeles City, very nice opening eye contact here. Now I do feel like her spin turns at the back of the stage could have been a little bit cleaner, a little smoother on the exit, but I will say that this routine for me got better and better as she went on, and she's been, in my opinion, one of our most consistent performers, so I feel like she's done enough to be moving on. Negros Occidental receives a 6.8. I think she had a great walk. I do feel like her posing at the end of the runway could have had some more variations because we saw a lot of contestants getting really creative with what they were doing front and center in front of the judges. I also feel like a little bit more of a smile because it's swim would have enhanced this performance as well. Nueva Ecija, very pretty. She seemed very relaxed. I would describe this routine as flowy. There was a lot of beautiful movement there. For this, according to ChatGPT, she receives a 7.0. One thing I think can change going into finals is that when she hits the end of a runway for her final poses, to hold that pose for a second longer instead of transitioning so quickly to the next one. And also maintaining a little bit more eye contact with the camera. Today, Taguig receives a 7.0. I think that her opening spin could have been a little bit smoother. It could have been a little bit more practiced. I was also very surprised to see that the length of her steps seemed a little bit shortened. I'm not sure why that is. I think that fully extending the leg and having a longer step can really improve her overall performance. But I do like her pose at the end of the runway. I love her little hair flip, her smile. She's definitely got a face card, so I think she looks lovely and I would love to see her advance. Samar, I thought, delivered a very beautiful performance. Definitely a solid performance, which is why she is receiving a 7.2. I think that she looked really lovely, but I would have preferred different hairstyling for swim. I felt like the hair was extra voluminous, so I would have liked to seen this hair just reserved for gown, but I still think overall, fantastic job. She looks beautiful on stage. Guipos, very confident and a seamless cape removal. She was slick with that, okay? This was good, so she is receiving a 7.3. I also feel like she had a nice little over-the-shoulder hair flip that we saw. The one thing I would add for finals, if she does advance, is just a little bit more of a smile for swim. Keep it fun, keep it light. Bohol seemed a little bit nervous at first. I felt like we could see a little bit of tension in her neck. Regardless of that, she is still receiving a 7.3. I thought she had really beautiful long strides, quality of the walk was great, and her ending pose I think was very well executed as well. Bacoor City is getting a 7.5. This was a really good, solid, clean routine, and I love that. I love that. You don't have to overshoot anything. But I do wish that she had a little bit more eye contact at the end with the camera. This did seem to be an issue for quite a few contestants, and honestly, the camera was moving quite a bit. It looks like it was difficult to catch that eye contact. San Jose, very beautiful. What I like about this is the progress in her walk. I noted in earlier episodes, it looks like she was leaning a bit towards a glitz walk that was very shoulder heavy. She was reeled that in and pulled it back. She delivers a really, really precise performance time and time again. So I'm giving her a 7.5. She also has a very beautiful smile at the end of the runway, and I just thought that everything looked so crisp and so clean. Iloilo City was very confident from the start. I've talked about it in other episodes. I feel like she definitely gives me these veteran vibes. I think that her rotations at the back of the stage looked excellent. Now, I do like that she initially moved her cape away when she got to the front of the stage. I would, however, always suggest, ladies, whenever you have a cape or wrap or anything like that, that once you remove it, move it away from the front of your body. So she did tend to hold that piece of fabric in the front of her when I wish she would have just been pulling away, so we could just focus more on her and more on her face and less of drawing the attention towards the fabric. Malaya Clan, 7.5, gorgeous as always. As always, wonderful routine, very consistent throughout the competition. I'm loving her. Honestly, I think ChatGPT lowballed this score. I think I would have given her like an 8.5 at least. I really like her. The only thing I want to see more would be more of a smile in the swimsuit competition. I think Chat is lowballing my girl Davao as well. Chat gave her a 7.5. I feel like she deserved more than that. But according to my comments, this is what Chat's takeaway is. So I love that she brought back the center part for her hairstyle. I think it was beautiful. I love this entire routine. I think she had a very strong opening. We saw this wonderful little spin turn sequence for her. I think she is stunning and confident. I did, however, feel like she could bring a little bit more energy for swim, a little bit more like liveliness, but she can always make that adjustment for finals. Batangas, another 7.5. I don't know what ChatGPT is doing here. Now, I will say this was a good routine. My one note is that who in the world let her walk on stage with toilet paper on her shoe? How did no one backstage catch that? Friends, I'm glad they at least removed it from the stage. They did that in a clever way right before our next contestant walked out, but I want to ignore that part of this and say that I still really think that she did a good job with her performance. I do, however, feel like her facial transitions could have been a bit smoother, so I think that's why Chat has her at a 7.5. Manila is coming in with a 7.5. I like this routine. I thought that it looked like she was very well rehearsed. She knew what she was doing, but she wasn't stiff. It still had fluidity, and that is something I always love and appreciate. Los Baños, excellent job. Great opening spin turn. The skin was glowing. The hair and the makeup looked lovely. She had this really nice little cape drop that she incorporated. We saw a mixture of facials and then a clean, beautiful exit. This is great. Excellent job. Cebu City, 8.0. Love the natural smile at the beginning of this routine. The little crinkle in her nose, yes, personality. This is the type of stuff I love seeing, especially for swim. This is where you do it. She had a nice moment in the back of the stage. I also really like that she got her own cape out of her way. She had a good pose, a strong pose at the end of the runway, and then a nice turn. Overall, great job. Tugigaraw for swim. Very, very pretty. She had a nice walk. She had great poses. I do wish she had held the poses just like a second longer, but still overall, good strong routine, good showing. Paranaque, love this for swim. Great swim example. Beautiful smile. I like that she was more carefree. She was light. She looked pretty. She was hitting her poses. Nothing was too overdone. It wasn't stiff. Great job. Camarines Sur, nice opening facials. Really, really excellent job here. Also notice she has quite a relaxed walk. I love that. I find that very appealing for the swimsuit competition. I think that she was nailing her poses at the end of the runway, and the thing that was the cherry on top for her was the little wink before she exited. So she gets an 8.3. Iligan City, also getting an 8.3. She's one of the contestants that I think has been improving throughout the competition, and it's made me just really look out for her on stage. So I like her. I think that she had a very nice opening, a smooth cape removal, and I think that overall this was a strong performance. Do I wish that she got a little bit more eye contact with the camera at the end? Yes, but it's not easy to do. Quezon Province gets an 8.4, and let me just say, she did what she needed to do. Big fan favorite. Sometimes fan favorites can get overhyped. I believe that she is living up to the hype this year. I think she's doing such a great job. Great use of her smile. We're seeing open mouth, not too big. We're seeing soft smiles from her. Beautiful spin turn. She's making it look easy. She's nailing her closed leg pose. Love that pose. Nothing was too over the top. The hair, the makeup is lovely. Lovely on her. Just stay consistent with this. I can't wait to see what she brings her finals, but this performance is deserving of her just sailing right through to the next round. Ifugo, great smile at the beginning of this routine. She had some really nice camera shots at the back of that runway. She had a nice little spin turn in there. She was bringing us a lot of energy. I was worried that she would fall out of her last pose, the turn that she was going into, but she stuck it, and I was impressed. So she gets an 8.5. Bulacan looks great. She's getting an 8.8. So I think that this routine looked really, really clean. The hair was lovely. The makeup was lovely. She did do a little bit lighter look in terms of her eye makeup. It's different than what we saw her do at the swim competition and at the Aqua Boracay show. And I just think that she delivered such a great, clean, well-rehearsed routine here. It was lovely. And what I love for her is I really feel like she's grown so much throughout this entire competition, and I've taken notice. Occidental Mindoro with an 8.8. Yes to that opening hair flip. Gorgeous, nailing her facials. But I gotta say, I think her smile is beautiful. I would have loved more teeth for this. Regardless, she's still coming in with a pretty high score. Pasay, somebody I haven't talked about that much. She is receiving an 8.8. Really nice performance here. Somebody that I haven't talked about too much in other episodes, but I thought that her facials were really great. She came in with what looks like a plan for her routine. She didn't overshoot it, and I also love her little wink at the end. It was cute. Baguio City, chat has assigned an 8.8, and at least, okay, if not more than that. I love her. I think she is beautiful. I loved this performance. For me, this was the first performance out of the group I think that I really sat up to. I was like, oh, okay, we're really bringing it this year. I liked her facial expression changes. I always think that they're soft. She's engaging. It's like she's got a story to tell, and I want to learn more. And for that, she's definitely one of my top favorites. Isabella with an 8.9. Wow, I must say she did surprise me. She really, really did. She showed up. First, I love her smile at the beginning. I really liked the way that she held up her cape when she was walking, not overdone, looked excellent. Watch and learn, ladies, okay? She looked great at her poses at the back of the runway. She was bringing a good amount of energy. I did feel overall a lot of contestants that I thought were gonna bring more energy didn't. So she stood out in a great way because of that, but she also still looked relaxed, and I felt like she was just in such a good place. She should be proud of this performance. Tarlac, 8.9 with a face card that doesn't decline. All right, really, really pretty, beautiful pivot at the beginning. She looks so confident. Her eyes are kind of giving me Catriona too. There's like some angles of her and I'm just like, oh, yeah, I kind of feel like the vibe and the resemblance, but I feel like she's incredibly underrated. I love her. Sultan Kurarat, 9.0. What did I say about her? I feel like she's just calculating when to peak, right? Like she's been under the radar a little bit, doing just enough. I personally really love the way that she worked her cape, the entrance, she nailed her poses. She also gave us a little wink, okay? But it was all so clean, all so well done. Definitely communicated confidence, and I just think that she is such a beautiful contestant, and she also has international experience. So I am loving her. Oriental Mindoro, beautiful, beautiful, coming in with a 9.3. Okay, chat. So wonderful cape removal here, and I really enjoy the creative cape removals, and I take notice, okay? I love seeing that type of practice. The smile is beautiful. The whole performance overall would get obviously a really high score for me. I personally love her, and what I like is we're seeing another contestant, in my opinion, who's getting better and better and better, and really just surprising us at prelims. I think that she's another one of those contestants a little bit more under the radar, but I've definitely noticed her, and I feel like she's doing very well. Ozami City with a 9.3. Okay, consistent queen. All right, I've talked about her in probably almost all of my challenge episodes. She's giving us a nice smile, but she's always giving us her smize. She's always giving us her gaze. Very beautiful, nailing her poses, totally rooting for her. Now let's talk our top three. Receiving a 9.4 is Muntinlupa. Great cape removal. I would describe it as clever. She hit her pose at the end of the runway, she stuck it, she nailed it. She added a signature little sway, kind of like the Shea sway. The audience loved her. I loved her. She's delivering just enough for me. I feel like she's right in that sweet spot. I loved her more and more throughout all the challenges. I fully expect her to be placing during finals. Also with a 9.4 for swim is Laguna. Great camera eye contact. Notice that she took her time on the back steps. She was not rushed. I was really glad to see her hair down for this. I much prefer her with her hair styled down. I think she had a really nice pivot in the middle of the runway. Good eye contact as well at the end of the runway, which we were missing from quite a few contestants. So great job overall. And my number one spot, according to ChatGPT, goes to Sinaloan Laguna. She's been one of my favorites throughout the competition. I talked about how she had a little wobble at the aqua competition, but she overcame that and she did an excellent job. And I do feel like she came prepared for this. I think that this is a solid performance for her. I definitely see her moving forward. I also feel like she's very well spoken, so I really want to see her compete for on stage question. Beautiful pose at the end, lovely exit. I'm rooting for her. I hope to see her advancing. These were my favorites and their ChatGPT scores. I kind of agree with some of what chat was saying. There are some where I was like, I think I would actually place them somewhere else. But let me know what you thought about this format, and don't forget to tune in to my preliminary gown recap coming very soon.